Okay, boom, back up, back up, back up.
Hmm.
Now,
Okay.
I've always back it up twice because I've done it before and everything worked fine, and then halfway through something go out. So I've
Yeah, I
learned
got
to
you.
have a backup.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah. So you guys are in session right now?
Yeah, we're in session right now. So we've started and kind of going full fledged at this moment. So then today was a lot of campaign finance reports to do today. So things just kind of went a different direction.
Yeah. Okay. Understood. Well, I appreciate you spending the time.
Oh, no problem. Glad to be on. No problem. I'm sorry we kept getting crossed up, but hey, no problem.
Uh, that's okay. Um, so have you listened to any of the podcasts? You have the idea of what this is?
I actually haven't. I'm sorry, I haven't.
Okay.
I've been so
No, that's
busy.
okay.
This whole season, holiday season, has been really busy for me at the Arc,
Oh,
especially. Man, we've been at
it's
full
totally
fledged.
okay. I just wanted
Okay,
to know so I could explain it to you if you didn't.
I
That's
got you.
all. So I started the
Okay,
podcast. It's called Legacy by Design. And I have a company that I've started where I do coaching and consulting for individuals and businesses. And the
okay,
idea is for people to find their purpose, put a plan in place, and put a system that backs up that plan so that they can be more successful. And
okay.
so, with that, I wanted to
That makes
interview
sense.
people that have done things that are, in my mind, extraordinary and kind of talk to them about how they've navigated it and created the system that they did to be successful.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
Okay. All right. So we'll go ahead and start and I can get you out of here so you can go
Okay,
rest.
yeah.
Well, welcome back to Legacy by Design. I think we're on episode 7 now. And I'd like to introduce, well, I'll let him give the full introduction, but my mini introduction is State Senator Ronnie Crudup Jr. And he is from Jackson, Mississippi. And we met years ago in our mission to help youth. And he has agreed to kind of come on here and just and chop it up with us a little bit and see how that can help someone else.
Okay.
All right. So thank you for being here.
Oh, I'm glad to be here. Thank you for having me.
All right. So that was my little introduction. I know that you have done much more than that. Can you kind of give a brief idea of where you've been, where you're at, and where you're going?
Okay. Again, I'm Ronnie Crudup Jr. I am a state representative here in
Mm.
Jackson, Mississippi.
Uh-huh.
I represent District 71, which covers a big portion of South Jackson and some the small city of Byron. But I'm also an executive director of New Horizon Ministries, Inc., where we focus on a lot of youth and youth and the family issues here in Jackson, Mississippi, specifically in South Jackson, where we get a lot of bad press at times. But I'm married. I've been 20 years now. I have 3 children, and
Congratulations.
thank you. I am born and raised from Jackson. I like to say that I tried to leave, but God wouldn't let me. And so I am stuck here to do the will of God or whatever He calls me to do. And so I am glad to be here today.
Oh, well, thank you. And a very impressive resume. And you mentioned that you're a executive director on the New Horizon Church.
Yes, we have a
And
nonprofit.
there you go.
Yeah, we have a nonprofit at the church called New Horizon Ministries, Inc., which I'm executive director of. This is our 501c3. Where I said we do a lot of things dealing with the family. We have a child care center and after school program. We also have a food pantry and clothing pantry where we feed and clothe in the area. Also dealing with water issues also, but we also do a lot of youth programs from the ARC, which covers a lot of things sports related. But we also have another facility where we do other things around the arts and all that type of stuff as well. So usually, I like to say we sort of get involved in a lot of things that where there's a need here in this community, we sort of get involved in. We've had a water crisis in Jackson, and so we use our nonprofit to kind of meet those needs there. We've had food insecurity. We've done things. We have a food pantry that we do. We provide food once a month to over 500 families, and we just continue to do the work here in the community. And so I'm executive director of this. I sort of lead it, but I have a big team of people who make all this thing go. And so I would not be here without them.
And that is amazing, especially for the history of Jackson. If people aren't aware, it was a booming um, industry for a while, and then those industries left, and now you guys are starting to build it back.
Yeah, so Jackson, I like to say we at our peak, Jackson had a population of about 200,000 people. We are now pretty much about 140, between 143 and 140. And so we've had a huge population loss over the last 15, 20 years. And with that, we've lost a lot of industry as well. And so a lot of our jobs and everybody has left and moved to the suburbs. So the suburbs, I say the people haven't left the area, they just left the city because our suburbs have
Right.
grown tremendously, and Jackson is sort of, created almost like a donut hole. Everything else out or sound is going, but we got a big hole of blight and just other issues going on within the city. And so we're doing our best, using our nonprofit and other organizations trying to help make a better quality of life for the residents here in the Jackson area.
And you mentioned something that stuck with me is you said that you tried to leave, but God brought you back. Can you give us an idea of your connecting to the community? I know your father runs one of the largest churches there, so you've seen the movement, the shifts, the change, and really been able to make an impact right there because you're from there.
So yeah, I'm like most of the youth who come through Jackson. You graduate high school, you go to college, and as soon as you get out of college, you want to move or go somewhere else. And I was one of those young people as well. And so my plan was when I left college, I was really I was really heavily involved in an organization called Young Life at one point. It's a
Mhm.
youth outreach organization, and so I was going to North Carolina doing internships every summer. And so when I graduated, they had already told me, hey, you got a job here whenever you're ready. So my plan was I was going to move to North Carolina after I graduated college. And quickly, God said no. And, I still tried to kind of buck and try to go, but God said, nope, you're going to stay right here. So one of my mentors, Dr. Perkins, loves to say, sometimes the best things occur when you get stuck. And so
Mm.
I got
Say that
married
again.
and I said sometimes the best things occur when you get stuck. And
I
so
like that.
I got stuck because I got married. Had started having children, and so I had to kind of set my roots, and I couldn't just jump up and leave anymore. And so I had to start figuring out quickly how do I do the things that I want to do in the Jackson area. So with having children and seeing my kids, wanting them to participate in sports and other programs, we started to build a lot of these things right here in our community. And so I like to say, and my wife like to say, a lot of this stuff I build for my kids, but everybody else kids get to have
Get,
opportunity as
get to
well. And
enjoy it
so
too.
yep. And so that's what we've been doing. And God has just blessed us to have friends and resources to help out in the mission that we're going. And so right now, even as we speak, there's a lot of people not in Jackson, but outside of Jackson who's dealing with the ice storm. And so we've been able to help send water and food and other things to other areas outside of Jackson. We're dealing with a lot of ice. Thank God, God spared us this time. We didn't have any a major shutdown in Jackson, but outside of Jackson, so in the northern part of Mississippi, they're dealing with a lot of stuff right now. And so, but yeah, our area is in the decline and the shift. I've seen it. We're our church that my dad's sort of retired now, the pastor of. We were the first African American church that moved to this part of town. And so, as we moved to this part of town, we've seen the shift over the last 20, 25 years of just the decline, not only of just, I guess, white flight, but I would say economic flight too.
No.
So a lot
Yeah.
of even a lot of the middle class begin to leave, and so now you really got a lot of people who are on the poverty level that we're dealing with in this side of part of town and in Jackson. And so, but we know that God has called us to be a light in dark places, but also help meet the needs of the poor. So that's what we've been doing the best we can to love on our neighbors.
Yeah, that's amazing. And you mentioned Dr. Perkins as who's your mentor. Can you share who that is? I'm aware of
Mhm.
his legendary status in my mind. But can you share a little bit
Oh, sure.
about who his history?
Yeah, so Dr. Perkins, I mean, that's the first time I've ever had to kind of share who he is. Um, he's a man that I love. Dr. Perkins, I think now is about 96 and 97, still living. And he's been I guess, the father of, people would say, Christian community development. He
Mm,
started CCDA years ago, and he's been someone that has encouraged Christians to move back into the community. Don't run from the problems, run to the problems. And from there, you begin to start seeing things change. He kind of goes off the scripture of, God incarnate himself back in with the people, from heaven. And so
yes.
we should incarnate ourselves as Christian and believers back into the community where the problem is. And how can we look to solve the problems if we're not there? And so
Yes.
I've been able to witness full hand fledged of what he's done over the years, and sort of kind of gone down the same path. Even the house I live in right now, he was the one of the guys that really encouraged me. I think you need to move right there and stay right there. Because at one point I moved here, my wife and I thought about moving. He was like, "No, I think God has you here for a reason," and I've seen it full fledged on where done. And so Dr. Perkins, he's been a great mentor over the years. Participated in his Bible study for at least 10 plus years, where we met every Tuesday morning at 5:30 a.m. Just going over
Mm,
and learning parts of the Bible. I've got a chance to travel with him and go other places. So he's been a great person of impact all over the world. I mean, I'll
yeah.
be honest, probably more California than he's done here. Even though he's done a lot, he's probably more well known on the West Coast than he's known actually here in the Jackson, Mississippi area. And it kind of goes along
Right.
with this scripture said, a prophet is beloved everywhere else except his home. And so
Right.
he's been somebody that's been beloved a lot of places, and people just that really just hadn't known him here like he's known other
Yeah.
places.
And
Mhm.
he was big in the civil rights movement and talked
Yep.
about just like you said, is developing where you are and allowing that community and nurturing that community. And I think back to I was born in Los Angeles in the inner city, and just like you said,
Mhm.
everybody's goal was to grow up and then leave.
Yeah.
And I really started to think about that because I ended up moving and then coming back, and now I live in San Diego, which is near LA, but a different spot. But one of the things as we work with youth, and I think we both have kind of the same idea, is that loss of intellect intellect and passion when the best and brightest don't want to be in the places where they're needed.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think this is a perfect example from Dr. Perkins, your father, and yourself, which you guys have said, okay, we're going to put our heels in here and we're going to make this better. I'll go
Yeah.
around the world, but I'm also going to take responsibility for here too.
Yeah. Yeah, and so that's the beauty of what's been going on. Say God has blessed me. I say God has sort of put me in my grace place.
Mm,
That even I tell people all the time. People ask me all the time, why are you living in South Jackson? Why are you moving? You could afford to go somewhere else, or you shouldn't have to. You shouldn't be over there. Why would you want to raise your children over there? And I tell them, I said, this is my grace place. This is where God has put me, and wherever God has put you is the safest place in the world. And so this is not only the safest place, but also where I found my joy of getting resources. I've been blessed to have friends who have sent, large donations because they realize the work that I've done. We're in the sense you've been here, you've been to the Ark. We have a huge gym called the Ark, which is 110,000 square feet
Yes.
facility. Where we have 5 basketball courts right now. We actually had a discussion. We're about to get our sixth court now, so that's going to be filling that place almost to capacity. We got boxing there. We got kickboxing, MMA. We got volleyball. We just have so many things there, and it has been a real blessing and an asset to the community because our community didn't have anything. We're in an area where the YMCA's left, a lot of the other gyms left, and so we left a lot of the kids to themselves. There's no public swimming pools. There are no the city is taking all the basketball courts down, and so we've been able to provide these things now in a structured and a better environment that not only the community trusts, but the parents trust too. So parents feel safe and comfortable to drop their kids off and know they're in a safe place.
And that's so important to have a safe space where they can know what it looks like to be nurtured, to be in a place in an environment where people are going to look out for them, where there's a sense of community.
Hmm.
And I know from growing up in the background of being an athlete, those are some of the relationships that last with you forever. And you
Yep.
learn so much from a good coach, being on a good team, or just being consistently working at something to get
Hmm.
better because you see the older kids are better than you. And if you want to play with them, then you got to get better. So you
Yep.
learn discipline, sacrifice. You can't be up all night and not going to school if you want to come and participate in the activity. So you
Yep.
guys have encapsulated all the lessons that if you were to sit them down and try to teach them one by one, they would ignore you.
Hmm.
But you got them in a safe environment with their friends and community, and you can love on them and teach them the same thing.
Yeah, we can do all those things. I mean, we've been able to get very personable with a lot of the youth and the kids and the young adults that come through there. Because to be honest, our average age range probably is about 16 to about 25.
Mm,
We deal with a lot of those young men, and 95% of who we deal with is young men. And
right. And
so
that's a
we're
crucial age.
Yep. We're sort of kind of maybe get in their lives, really find out who they want to be, and try to encourage them to even dream because a lot of them don't even have dreams. And so, but we've been blessed. I would say to one of our friends, Charles, you met him too, the basketball coach. Uh,
Yes.
we've been blessed that a lot of the youth that have come through our program are now in college. And so, matter of fact, we went to go see one of our young ladies play last night. She's at a junior college, and so we're able to show these kids if you decide to what we call put in the work and really lock
Mm,
in to develop your skill set, there's an opportunity for you to go to college too. Not only just go to college, but be on scholarship. And we know the rules of the NCAA right now are the way it is. There is a chance for not only go to college, but change some of their lives from a financial standpoint. And so
right.
we're able to kind of show them these things and teach them in a way that I think God just blessed us to do this in this season where we are. So we have I think right now at least 2 or 3 guys who are off out of state in college, and they're all like 22 and 23 who've actually have had some issues where they struggle. We have one young man who got locked up for a year because of a gun charge or something else he did. Well, he's still a good ball player. And so at this point now, a lot of these coaches, they want a young man who's 22 or 23 who's made some mistakes, who wants a second chance. And so we're able to
Yes.
convince some of these guys, hey, listen, there's still an opportunity for you to help make a change in your life and do something good. And not only for yourself, but it encouraged the younger generation. My son, he's 12. And he,
Mm,
he went with us to the game last night. He got a chance to see even some of the young men who come to our gym to say, listen, hey, you follow these steps, you can actually go to school and play ball too. And so it's a beautiful thing to see.
Right. And you're changing lives for generations. Like you said, now they can see what it looks like, not just on TV, not just the story that they heard, but you remember them from being playing with them next to you. And now
Yeah.
they're playing for a college and maybe the first in their family to ever go to college.
Hmm.
And now that's a possibility. And that's something I think a lot of people don't know or don't think about is that there are communities where that's not the norm, where they don't
Yeah.
know somebody that's been to college, or they don't know someone that's even traveled outside of that small community and been successful. So
Yeah.
that's a big thing to change not just one person's life, but a family and generation.
Yeah. I mean, it's so hard sometimes for a young person to believe in something they can't see. So
Yeah.
sometimes they have to see it. Oh, if this person went to college and I played best, I beat him a couple of times. I mean, I played with him. Why can't
Right.
I go? And so it sort of has encouraged some of these other guys. I have an opportunity too. I don't I haven't used all my eligibility up. I can go to college, do something good for myself, can't come back. 'Cause I tell all the guys, hey, we have a lot of guys sometimes that go to college, they don't finish. And I tell them, I says,
Right.
your options become limited then. I says, once you get that college degree, you have
Right.
more options. I'm not saying it's the end all of everything, but at least you have more options then. I said, so let's go ahead and get that degree. And that way your options are a little bit better at that point.
Yes. And I know there's been like a big push lately to tell people, oh, well, you don't have to go to college. And my argument has always been it's not so much the information that you learn in college, but it's the life skills and how to learn information that you learn in college. The piece of
Yeah.
paper opened doors, but
Mhm.
the information and what you learned and how you grow. And I tell kids all day, this is the time when nobody's gonna wake you up. Mama's not gonna make you breakfast. You gotta get up. You
Yeah.
gotta figure out where you gotta go and how to get there and how to eat in between.
Yeah. Yeah. But then, and prime example is, but I tell kids all the time too, what the options is a lot of these guys who are athletes, I mean, even if they decide, man, I could be a good coach. Well, you can't coach without a college degree.
Yes.
You can't even coach middle school to high school without a college degree. That's going to be a requirement. I mean, you go even to like you look at, I mean, prime example like Deion Sanders. One of the reasons
Yeah.
Deion Sanders was able to come to Jackson because no other school would give him opportunity because he didn't have a college degree at first. So
Right.
he was able to go to school. Then Jackson State took a chance on him. He got his degree, and now he's at Colorado. He did the same thing for Warren Sapp. Warren Sapp said, "Yo, I want to coach." Okay, you can't coach without a degree, so they had to help get him in school. And so I'm telling guys, why you should don't wait till you're 40 and 50 to do that. Let's go ahead and get that done now. That
Right.
way, your options become. I mean, you can end up picking up a job just on a middle school range and become a junior high coach. And next thing you know,
Right.
10 years from now, you might end up being a pro somewhere. But it has to
See,
start somewhere.
and I think that's a great point. And I don't think most people know that. I didn't know that when you said that Dion came, went to school, got his degree, and then was able to coach because he was at Jackson before he went to Colorado.
Yep. Uh-huh. Yep.
Yeah. And
Yep.
that's a great point to make, and especially to the youth. And that's a very tangible example because he was the hometown coach.
Mm-hmm. Yep, he was the hometown coach. Like I said, they didn't understand. Oh, why this person can't go coach, man? They could be they played ball, they did good. I said, but the requirements. I mean, there are standards and requirements for certain jobs, and you
Right.
have to meet that. And so I try to encourage those guys. Hey, I know you play ball. Go ahead and finish. And so I meet so many of them say, man, I only got 9 hours left. Okay, let's go finish those 9 hours. I don't care if it
Mm,
takes you 2 years. Let's go ahead and start knocking it out little by little, just because we can go ahead and get that degree behind you. And it changed their lives, like I said, lives for generations.
right. And one of the ideas behind this whole program that I do is the system that you guys have created has really been something that not only is an example but my phrase is a sample. It's something
Hmm.
that it's tangible, that they can touch, feel, see, and really get and become a part of. It's not
Hmm.
just something that you guys say, okay, here are the steps that you need to go through.
Yeah.
No, and I love your language and I can hear your passion in it. It's why don't we go knock that out? Not okay, man, what's wrong with you? Just go do that.
Yeah.
And there's a sense of family and community that's needed in every
Hmm.
community, if you ask me, but especially in communities that don't have all of the resources or don't get as much of the spotlight as some of the other ones.
Yeah, I mean, and what we're creating hope a lot of times. We're helping
Mm,
project hope to areas and to young people who don't have hope a lot of times. And their communities are just so um, hope discouraged, that they don't see the opportunities to be able to grow or make anything out of themselves. And so one thing that we've seen, and we're doing it in Jackson, but this can be pretty much done in any African American community. I mean,
yeah.
young African Americans, basketball is a part of our culture.
Mm,
You can I'll tell you, any church that has a gym, no matter where you are in a black community, if you open your gym up and say it's basketball available, kids are coming, youth are coming, young men are coming.
mm,
Why not use that? Because that's such a part of our culture to help reach these young men. Bring them in the
yeah.
gym and try to, and then from there, teach them some life lessons. Find a guy who decide, hey, listen, I made some mistakes. Our guy Charles is like that. Charles could tell you, hey, I went to college for a year. I mean, a couple of years. I was a good ball player. I ended up getting a girl pregnant, and next thing you know, it's sort of just like he said, I got married quickly. Shouldn't have got married as fast as I did, and then had to get a job and he
Mm,
just made some decisions that changed his whole trajectory. Where now he's able to help these guys say, listen, do not do that. Or if you go to this college, sit for a year. Don't get the attitude where I'm not playing. And man, I mean, they don't. I got to go transfer. Nope, stay there. Let us try to help work the things, or sit there and take the learn the game, just whatever he has to do. So Charles is able to help so many of these guys now to help with those lessons that he didn't learn. So what we're telling folks, what we're doing at the Ark can be duplicated. God has blessed us with a building. We might have the largest building like we do. We have a huge building that we've been able to meet the
right.
needs because basketball is something we didn't even have a gym in our community either. So all
Mm,
the fitness gyms left too. I said the YMCA's left. We didn't have a Planet Fitness or LA Fitness, things like that. So it's decided, you know what? Why don't we make the two work together? So that way you got the basketball portion of it, but also the fitness part of it too. Because we have a lot of seniors in our community. We have a lot of seniors that come to our gym that we have a walking track inside of our gym around 3 basketball courts. So we get a lot of seniors that come in through the daytime. They just want a safe place to be able to walk, without all
yes.
the other elements of somebody trying to do something. And we have security on site too, so people feel comfortable in knowing, hey, I'm here. We're a faith-based, we're a Christian organization. We make no men, no, blanks about this.
No bones about it. Right.
We're playing, Christian hip hop, the whole time, just kind of trying to encourage guys. Hey, you don't have to listen to the same stuff you hear all the time on the streets. And people they say, man, I like that song. So
Yeah.
everything that we're doing is very intentional of helping, trying to encourage and really build something. Like I said, the art, we built it to be a safe place for our youth, but it has become so much more a safe place for youth, adults, seniors, but also the entire family. And so that's what we want to continue to do.
I'm sorry, but
Oh,
I
you
had an
good?
alarm go off.
Okay,
Yeah, I'm still here.
good.
Yeah, so creating a safe space, and I love the idea of taking that system and being able to use it in different places, because the idea of creating a safe place that's somewhere that they can learn and grow, learn discipline, community, and actually you can be responsive to the community through them, because that's where you're going to get that information. That's
Mhm.
boots on the ground. That's where you
Yeah,
get, okay, this is what's going on in the community. This is
yeah.
where we need to help and assist. And
Mhm.
just like you said, you guys can provide meals, water, tutoring, education. interview help, all the things that fall through the cracks when families are just trying to survive.
Yep, yep. And so there's so many young men who come. I mean, I've met so many new young men from this arc. There are people I would not have met without this. And to be able to encourage so many of these guys, some of the guys who we see who are good athletes, but they realize you might be a better boxer or you may be a
Right.
better football player. Why don't you go try these things that can help change your trajectory and kind of really see the skill set? I mean, I tell folks all the time, God has given all of us a skill. A lot of times we just haven't figured out what their skill is. And so that's part of our job at the Arc is try to help these young men dream and find out, you know what, you're pretty good at this. You got to look at this a little bit more and try to develop this skill set. And again, we want to see what's the best for their lives. I mean, it's not all about us trying to make a huge gym or people say, oh, you're trying to make all the money. Listen, we're not making a lot of money. We're breaking even. We got staff that we pay and things like that. But we're just blessed to be able to be a part of so many of these young men's families and also help even the single moms. It's been a prime example lately. A lot of single moms are bringing their sons in. And so when a youth first comes, they're under 18, they have to have a parent that come and registers them, or an
Okay.
adult. And so a lot of time that parent, that mom will come and register them, and the young man just sitting back on his phone, it's kind of like, and I, not say anything. And I quickly
Right.
even teach that mom, let him speak for himself. I tell
Right.
them if you continue to do that for him, he's going to let you do that for him. So
Yeah.
encourage him. All right, Kurt the gun. You start speaking up because when you get grown, your mother's not gonna be able to do all this stuff for you. And so I'm trying.
Yeah.
We're teaching at every level of the things that we see that hurt our community. How can we help change that narrative and helping those parents to see? I know he's your baby. I know he's your boy. We want him to be a young
Right.
man. And
Right.
so and kind of help them see those things. So
And that's the thing. This is a safe space that you've created where you can teach them it's okay to make eye contact here.
mhm.
It's
Yeah.
okay to speak up for yourself. Give a firm handshake. All
hmm
those things that they've learned through survival in that community will hurt them out in the job market. And
Yeah.
having a safe space where they can really learn that and be encouraged to learn that and told that, yeah, you can do this and it's okay to do this here, that's worth its weight in gold.
It is. It is.
And I truly, truly thank you guys for what you guys are doing because that is God sent. And I pray that more communities take this system of saying, okay, we don't have to hit you over the head with it. We'll get you in here on what you already like. You like
Yeah.
basketball, you like boxing, you like MMA. All right, come on in and do that. But in the meantime, you might hear some gospel music going on. We might pray every once in a while. And
Yeah.
all those things, if nothing else, it gives them an example and a sample. I always like to say a sample of what it's supposed to look like. So even when
Mhm.
they mess up, they know where to go.
Yeah.
And so many times that's not available. You mess up and you're done and we don't want anything else to do with you, but you've created a place where they can come back and they can try again and it's
Yeah.
safe. And
Yeah.
that's incredible.
Because I mean, we do this thing at least we do it every other week during the summer, but also doing like Christmas break, Thanksgiving, and probably spring break coming up too. This thing called Arc Out the Dark, and what it is, sort of a form of midnight basketball. What we start allowing the kids to come on Friday night at 8 p.m. and we go all the way to midnight, all the way to 12 o'clock. And so usually we get a sponsor. We normally average about 250, 300 kids on those nights. And we not only feed them, but we actually preach a gospel message or a message of hope to the young men who's pretty much there. So we do is, we start at 8 o'clock. We'll start about 9:30, 45, about 10 o'clock. We'll stop all the games. Everybody hold the ball. We'll bring everybody in the center court, and then usually either myself or somebody else, we're gonna do a 5 or 10 minute devotion. Just give them something to encourage them. Okay, hey, then hey, we say who the sponsor is. We're gonna feed them that night. So then we have people who actually have sponsors say, listen, I want to make sure those young men get a good hot meal because some of them they only eating hot dogs or pizza and junk food. And so I have guys that come and cook real food for them, and they get a hot meal. And those guys, they're so happy to get a real meal sometime. And you're gonna eat.
Yeah.
Okay, after that, hey, you go back to playing ball until we leave at 12 midnight. And so we use those opportunities to encourage and also share something of hope and let them know, hey, listen, it's okay to have a fun, safe place to come to. Even in the middle of the
Yes.
night, that you don't have to go to the nightclub. You come hang out with us at night, and we're gonna do something good and positive here.
Yes. And that in and of itself is changing the legacy and the mindset of some of those kids. And I say
Mhm.
kids, I know 16 to
Yeah,
25. They're still kids to us.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
uh, and so that now that seed has been planted no matter where they go, or I always say you giving them the contrast. So when they go back out and they're not with you guys and they see something going on, they know the difference. Now they
yeah,
can make a choice to do it,
yeah,
but they
hmm
know the difference. And that's a
yeah.
big thing.
Yeah, yeah, you're exactly right. And so again, we've had our ups and downs. This past year in 25, we had we have two young men who were part of our family. They got killed. One of them was killed in a gunshot, and the other one actually lost his life on a ATV accident. And so
Next.
even at those points, we still got a chance to talk with the families. We had what we call a balloon release at the Ark. And we had opportunity for people to share, and we actually have their pictures, on our wall now saying, "Hey," on the spot, say, "Hey, gone but not forgotten." And so, and we've encouraged the families, "Hey, listen, come and be a part of what your sons were a part of." And most of them, the moms, both of them, the moms, they all said, "Man, this gym changed my son's life." Even though they had some other things going on, it still changed their lives. And so we just continue to keep that going on. But it's a chance too to let those other guys know, hey, you can't do everything. You can't hang out in the streets because there's consequences for certain behaviors. And so, yeah,
Yeah.
everything that we try to do is use to try to teach a better way and opportunity.
Yes. And that is so needed and a blessing. Well, brother, I want to thank you for spending the time with me. I know it took us a while to coordinate this
Yeah.
thing, and I know you're busy. You're in the middle of the session and took a break to come out and talk to me.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we finished for the day. Fridays is normally a easier or a shorter day. But yeah, hey, it was good to be able to come on here and thank you for this opportunity to be able to share what's going on in Jackson, Mississippi.
All right, hold on one more second.
Okay.
There we go. All right. It's just telling me that I'm supposed to be somewhere.
Okay.
All right. Well, thanks again. Well, first, and also, do you have a website where people can donate?
Oh, yeah, they can go to our website. It's actually the ARC 601.org. The
Okay.
ARC 601.org tells you a little bit more about the organization and what we do and how we continue to move forward. A lot of other updates going on. We're rebranding our New Horizon Ministry site right now, so that's not necessarily complete, but we had it complete real soon as well.
Okay, and I'll make sure I put that in the show notes as well
Okay.
so that people can just click on it and come and get some more information.
And we have a Facebook page and an Instagram page. So if anybody want to see more of what's going on, we do a lot of update on both of those social media platforms to kind of see a lot going on there.
Okay, I'll put those in the show. I'll put links in the show notes so they can
Okay.
follow you on there too.
Thank you.
All right, thanks a lot, brother. You
All
go
right.
ahead and get some rest, and I appreciate you.
Okay. You have a good day.
All right, you too. All
All
right,
right. Bye.
bye.